Hey y'all, I have all of the documents. There's about 20 of them from the Lauren Matthais Hidden True Crime Stalking Injunction. We've been going over them on the live streams on my YouTube channel, and we went over one today, and it references all of the evidence. It is basically the declaration by Greyson and Lauren Matthais with references to the exhibits that they presented to the judge in the order that it was presented. And I wanted to go through this document and all the exhibits in particular with you guys in this video because I want us to pretend we are in a courtroom and we are the judge and jury. And I want you to decide at the end of the video, is this enough evidence and enough exhibits and enough of an explanation for you to think that this indeed would justify a stalking injunction? Or do you think this is just a case of mean girl high school BS? Um, I would love to know what you think at the end of this video. Now, this document I'm going to pull up is about one of 20, and this document is watermarked. If you would like to have all of the documents without the watermark, as well as the exhibits to go with it, you can get them on my Patreon, which I will link in the description box below. I do want to ask you, please do not contact anybody mentioned in this video. This video is for educational and commentary purposes only. Please do your own research and formulate your own opinions. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way in or out. Now, the first thing I want to point out to you is on this document, it is submitted by the Pace Johnson Law Group out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, allegedly, from what I've heard, I haven't verified, allegedly, Lauren Matthais has a brother named Pace Johnson that's a lawyer. Found that interesting if it's true. I do not know that it is. This document was filed August 28th of 2025 in the 4th District State of Utah, Utah County. It is Lauren Matthais as the petitioner versus Christina as the respondent. The article starts, I hereby declare under penalty of perjury that the facts stated in this declaration are personally known to me and that they are accurate to the best of my knowledge. Now it's going to be numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. I'm just going to read it as it's written. You are more than welcome to follow along on the document with me. My name is Greyson. I am over the age of 18 and am competent to testify. I am knowledgeable personally about the matters I am testifying about. I am an employee of the petitioner. I met Christina in May of 2024. After meeting her, I never had much contact with her until October of 2024. After that, I became friendly with Christina. I began doing some work for Lauren that same month before transitioning to full time work shortly thereafter. Lauren had hired Christina to do graphic design work, and I would oftentimes be more or less the one overseeing what was being done, requesting things needed, and scheduling calls if needed. Christina and I would eventually become what I considered friends. Because we both did work for Lauren and were friends, there were many conversations that revolved around Lauren and her mental health and anguish, as both her mother and brother laid on hospice at the same time. In April of 2025, I was sitting upstairs in the Maricopa County Courthouse when Lauren let me know she had been confronted by Christina and told all of her text messages were being released. What came next was like something I don't even know how to describe other than as if it came out of a movie and became the worst 4 months of my life, safety wise. That day, we left court where we were reporting, and Lauren had a panic attack. Lauren and I are together all day, every day, and I had never seen something like that before. Over the next few weeks, I would show up at work, and Christina's friend, Janice S., would film me for no other reason than to harass me and intimidate me. Then on June 19th, I spoke to someone who told me to brace myself and that things were going to, quote, go public, unquote. She didn't willingly give up any other information other than that people, quote, wanted Lauren's head on a platter, unquote. I immediately informed Lauren of what was going on, and I made the decision to call the police as I was worried for our safety. Shortly after that, Christina started the TikTok and Instagram accounts. Christina continues to target Lauren, John, and anyone who is friends and or works with them on the regular with her post. As for how I've been and how I've seen it affect Lauren, I could say without a doubt that this has caused extreme fear, overwhelming panic, paralyzing anxiety, and relentless emotional turmoil. I've seen her go from spending every moment when not working with her little boy carefree to spending every moment not working, consumed about making sure her son and husband stay safe and trying to find ways to stop the escalation. As for her husband, John, I've seen him go from completely lasered in and focused on work to barely being able to work at all. Every work meeting we have is him expressing his fear and concern not only for himself, but also for Lauren. On July 7th, he took me aside and cried, explaining that he had been woken up by Lauren at 5 a.m., rocking in the bed that morning, who tearfully told him she wanted to self delete. John informed me, as I am the one most often with Lauren during the day. After that, things intensified as we made sure Lauren was never alone and kept a close eye on the situation. As for me, I've lived every day in complete fear, persistent anxiety, suffocating dread, and the crashing weight of uncertainty. I called the police for help in June, and I live in fear that because of that, people will learn my address and show up to continue their harassment. People in my industry sent me the TikTok and Instagrams knowing it was about Lauren just to make sure I was aware of it, furthering my anxiety about how far and wide this targeted approach is going. A national news reporter even spoke to me on the phone and informed me that Christina had spoken to them and about Lauren and I. Christina was not asked about us by this person. Instead, she intentionally sought out this person just to speak about us to them to cause harm to business relationships. On July 23rd, I was in Boise working at the Brian Koberger sentencing. That day, Janice S. filmed me constantly. And then we have Exhibit 14, Janice filming, but I don't have that exhibit. That's the only one I don't have. I felt entirely unsafe. That night at dinner, Lori D. and Sarah P. approached our table. I didn't know at the time, but Lauren had taken a video of me in a complete emotional distress that I was having that evening. And then we have Exhibit 21, crying. It's actually Exhibit 22. Here's that video.
I'm literally at dinner, enjoying a dinner, and they're coming up to me and making me feel unsafe when I'm not doing anything. And I'm telling them to leave me alone. Like I'm not even like doing anything. It would be one thing if I was going up to them. But guess what? I stay away. All they do everywhere in public is film me.
No, I know. They film you everywhere. We just do our work. We just do our work.
So what? Because we didn't answer the filming, now they confront us? What's next? This is when people get murdered. We're in this. We see this.
The document continues. That video shows a representation of what many days and nights of my life has looked like since this all began. I live every day in fear. I can't even go to work in public places without fear. This has spanned multiple states, and I feel like I'm consistently being threatened, monitored, and stalked, while Christina posts all about it on social media. I had to see a psychiatrist and get on anxiety medication to manage the anxiety I felt. I had to get prescribed medication to sleep at night as I have not been able to sleep well. Many nights I have texted Lauren and others around me in the middle of the night in complete panic. Now we are at Exhibit 22. So here we have a screen recording. Let me try to get close and read it to you guys. Okay, so it's from Lauren and it says, I have horrible anxiety and it won't go away. Person responds, what can you do? Maybe edit? Grayson says, I can't sleep. Lauren says, what is the worst case scenario? Grayson says, it's like the jump out of your skin kind again. Lauren says, I understand. Grayson says, I don't know, but I'm so anxious and it won't go away. I keep trying to sleep, but I can't because my body is just panicking. Lauren says, well, embrace it. Why? Consider what the worst thing is, write it out in a journal. And she responds to, I keep trying to go to sleep, but I can't because my body is just panicking, and said, I understand, as a response to that. Grayson types back, Christina just keeps going and it's making me panic. Lauren says, okay, that's a good start. What else is your anxiety telling you? Write it out in your journal. Grayson says that she's never going to stop and that this is just going to keep going. Back to the document. While it has been slightly effective, I still wake up every day in complete dread. Instead of starting my day thinking about all I'm going to accomplish, I start my day checking my doors to make sure they are locked. If these people show up at my place of work with no regard, just to stalk and harass Lauren and I, who's to say they won't show up at my home? The mental toll this has taken on me is beyond description. I've spent hours on the phone with my own father, crying about my fears for safety for both Lauren and myself. I have felt like I'm drowning for 4 months with nowhere to turn and no way to make it stop. Our fear for our safety and our well being. Christina has continued her targeted attacks for months. She has not stopped or backed down. Instead, she continues to escalate day by day. I can't keep living like this every day. It has caused great harm to my mental and physical well being. And then they verified that it was declared under criminal penalty under the law of Utah that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. It was signed Wednesday, August 27th, 2025 by Greyson. Now, the next document is Lauren's. Starts the same. Lauren Matthais is the petitioner versus Christina, the respondent. It reads, I hereby declare under penalty of perjury that the facts stated in this declaration are personally known to me and that they are accurate to the best of my knowledge. Now, it too continues with, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. I'm just reading it. You can follow along with the numbers. My name is Lauren Matthais. I am over the age of 18 and I'm competent to testify. I am knowledgeable personally about the matters I am testifying about. I am the petitioner. I met Christina M. in April of 2024. During the summer of 2024, she began doing contract graphic design work for my business. And then we have Exhibit 1 invoices, but I do not have Exhibit 1. Mine start with Exhibit 2, which I honestly don't think we need to see invoices from her business. It continues. However, for the past few months, Christina M. has been intentionally targeting me and stalking me, making me fearful for my safety and well being, as well as the safety of my family and my producer, Greyson, yours safety. Christina has also been using a group of people to help her achieve her goal. This started on April 9th of 2025 when Christina confronted me in a courthouse in Maricopa County, Arizona, while I was reporting on the Lori Daybell trial. Christina came up to me, cried, and let me know she had heard what I had said about her and that two former contract workers were releasing text messages I had with them during their employment with me. The text about Christina stated that she was annoying. I apologized for hurting her feelings and even followed up with a text message taking accountability. And then it references Exhibit 2, the apology. Here we have Exhibit 2, the apology. It is to Christina, Wednesday, April 9th at 9:52 a.m. She says, I love you and I'm sorry. Thank you for talking to me. I have a lot to process about myself and my actions. That's Lauren talking. Christina says, thanks for letting me be vulnerable and being vulnerable about yourself. Lauren replies, everything I love about you is real and sincere. Everything I judged you for was before I gave you a chance. I was wrong. Unfortunately, you can't erase words and they hurt. I'll forever regret the things that I said and thought, but the truth is, I'd defend you to the moon and back forever, and I do. But I realize it will take a long time to earn your trust if I ever earn it again. And if I don't, I understand. I was so wrongs. But I know that no matter where our paths lead in life, ILK forever defend you and call you a dear friend with the biggest heart I know. I'd do anything for you if you ever needed me. The document continues. Later that night, I received a threatening voicemail from someone named Liz S. And they refer to Exhibit 3, threatening voicemail redacted. It's quiet for a second and then starts.
Hey, Lauren, it's Liz. Let me remind you, Liz, I know you don't recall my name, but I actually think you do recall my name. But I'd like to talk to you for a second. I'd like to talk to you about number one, I guess, why you don't remember my name. But number two, I'd like to talk to you about why you are so upset about texts that you have sent to me in group chats about other people who I'm sure you don't. I'm sure it's hard to admit that you have said those things about those people, but I want to clear it up with you. So I would appreciate if you would call me back. No, not trying to be threatening or anything. I would truly like to clarify maybe where I'm missing something. So if you would please give me a call back, I would appreciate it. My name is Liz, Liz. In case you don't remember, Liz, Liz.
And it cuts off there. I'm sorry, it cut off there. Oh, hold on. Okay, now we're going to go back to this document. She brought up the fact that I had said I didn't know who she was, which was something I told Christina during our conversation. I sent Christina a text message stating to please not share our conversation. That was private and I was feeling threatened. Now we have Exhibit 4, which is titled Threatened Text. Now, this is from Lauren in the Blue, Wednesday, April 9th at 8:50 p.m. Hey, Christina, I would appreciate you not talk about our private conversation, which you described as vulnerable with other people. I have done this for you, yet I'm already getting calls about things I said to you in confidence, and I feel threatened. Do not screenshot or share private conversations that are meant to be private. Do not share things I've said to you in private because they are considered private. And I reiterate, this is becoming a threatening matter, and I will have to take legal action if it continues. Christina replies, Lauren, I can confidently say what you're claiming is false. I haven't talked to anyone about our conversation. As for your other request, I think you already know I'm not the one you need to worry about when it comes to sharing private conversations. I'll be honest, receiving a message like this, especially with accusations and threats, really puts salt in the wounds. I didn't expect that from you. And that's the end of that exhibit. A couple of days later, I was sent a Reddit comment that was made by Christina alleging that I was plagiarizing and had poached an employee from another person in my industry. I text her requesting that she does not defame my business online, and if she believes I am plagiarizing, to please report me. She denied that they were her posts despite evidence from her account showing it was her account. After some back and forth, I blocked her as I began to feel unsafe. Now we have Exhibit 5, Reddit. Now, this one I remember from earlier. Hold on just a minute. We got to get close to the screen. Now, as soon as I push play, this is going to go away and we're not going to be able to see it clearly. But it's the first comment in Environmental B678 said, if you go back to her early videos before all the fancy backdrops, lighting, podcast sponsors, etc., those are the ones I enjoy. I started watching during her second backdrop. You can legit see her changing as the money came in. She started to get annoying with the your true crime bestie openings. Humane Human says supposedly Lauren poached Annie's employee and then it continues. Now we're going to push play. So you see that conversation there and you can't see anything more from this person. Lauren sends that to Christina and she writes, "It is heartbreaking for me that we would go from friends to you thinking I would participate in plagiarism. It's something I would never do. And if you really think I would, you should report me. To post this on a public forum is so shocking. I don't know what I did to deserve this. I am deeply apologetic for the things I initially thought about you as I got to know you. Yes, I made mistakes and misjudgments of character, but that does not make me a liar. I am not a cheat. I am not someone who plagiarizes others' work or poaches others' employees. I am not someone who tries to defame people on public forums. I stand up for people. I have integrity and I own my mistakes. I am a work in progress. And I am loyal and I am honest. I am loyal and I am an honest business owner. I I apologize. I'm trying to record this without having to edit it because it takes forever on my computer and I'm just learning. Let me read that again. I sincerely apologize. I am loyal and I am an honest business owner. Never would I ever try to hurt someone's family business by posting that they are poaching in someone's. I stand up for people. I have integrity. I own my mistakes. I am a work in progress. I am loyal and I am an honest business owner. Never would I ever try to hurt someone's family business by posting that they are practicing in something illegal, especially when it's not even true. As far as the Reddit post goes, many creators were asked to cover Emily Pike at the same time. Annie did not copy me. The whole post is unnecessary, but the comment from you crushes me. I'm heartbroken you would A, think this of me, B, write this. Is it okay to protect my business and ask you not post my private combos private? Yes, but what I did to deserve this, I have no idea. If people are lying about me, they are lies. This is not who I am. Christina said, wait, are you saying I'm the one Christina said, wait, are you saying I'm one of the people who commented on that thread because I wasn't? If something I say gets twisted or misrepresented, that's frustrating, but it doesn't give you the right to put words in my mouth or assume the worst of me. And while I've talked about my situation with you to others, no one you personally know, let's not pretend the talking hasn't gone both ways. Honestly, it's hard to hear all this from you, knowing some of the things you've said about me that have made their way back. I've chosen not to throw that in your face. Anything I've said about you, I've either already said to your face or would be willing to. Lauren replies, This feels like deflection. I'm not referring to gossip, nor have I suggested you haven't been hurt. I'm referring to posting falsehoods about me and my business on a public forum. And no matter how hurt you are, this is unnecessary. If someone else wrote those words, then it's someone with access to your account. And you and I both know if those words are coming from your Reddit account, they are attached to you. Christina replied, I didn't post on that Reddit thread. Full stop. No one has access to my account, and I don't appreciate the insinuation or the accusation. It's not the first time you've accused the worst of me, and I'm done defending myself against things I didn't do. I'm also not deflecting. I'm pointing out the bigger picture. You're demanding accountability while denying your own role and what led us here. You've said things about me that were unkind and very untrue. And while I've let that go for the most part, I'm not going to let you rewrite the story now. You're entitled to your feelings, and so am I. But I won't keep engaging in a conversation where I'm being accused, talked down to, or treated like I'm the only one responsible for how things fell apart. Lauren replied, I've never rewritten history. I've acknowledged what I've done. I've apologized and acknowledged your hurt. I've never taken that back or pretended otherwise, even in my initial text today. I am not afraid to own my mistakes, as I'm an honest, imperfect person who works to be self aware and honest with my actions. Pointing out words written on your public account with a request you don't publicly defame me and sharing it hurts me in no way rewrites history or disregards what I've apologized for and owned. I hope one day you'll also be able to do the same when you hurt people and make mistakes. We agree to be done engaging. We agree to be done engaging. And once again, I am sorry for getting, and it says yo, which I don't think was meant to be said. Continuing with the document, she then sent me an aggressive email and I sent a response asking that she not contact me as I was once again feeling threatened. Then we go to Exhibit 6, the threatening email. So this is going to be a video. This says Christina MacArthur to me, Lauren, I was going to text you this directly, but it looks like it didn't go through. So I'm guessing you blocked me. If that's the case, it's totally fine. Just be real about it. Hitting block after starting a fire doesn't make you a victim. It makes you a, I think she wrote, complete hypocrite. On top of that, you're really out here playing the victim while casually coaching someone on how to trash Gigi on Reddit. Bold move, especially for someone who loves to preach about, quote, integrity, unquote, every 5 minutes. But hey, maybe encouraging anonymous hit pieces is just part of your brand. I wouldn't know. I've been too busy minding my own business and not anonymously running smear campaigns in the comment section. Also, fun twist. I now know that the Reddit comment actually came from one of your own mods, and yet you still claimed it as your own when bragging to your old friends. So either you're lying on them or you're lying to me now. So take your pick. Do you prefer hypocrite or liar? Sincerely, Christina. Now, this comment here is very, very hard to read and kind of blurry, so I'll do my best to read it. Okay, hold on, let me back it up just a smidge. It says Lauren replied, I was very frustrated by her most recent episode because she reported that certain text messages from M to Colin were introduced into evidence, and that's just not true at all. Specifically, from me, the fulfilling text compiled something in outstanding article for Outsource magazine would like to talk to you at some point. This weekend was strange for me, and I just want to know what's going on. If you just want to be friends, seems to be the case, then that's cool. But I'd like to talk about it because honestly, my mind has been going circles and I don't know what to think. Gigi said there was introduced into evidence on Monday. Gigi said this was introduced into evidence on Monday and that Strickland told the defense on the stand that he didn't uh something those texts. This absolutely did not happen. I've been in court every day, including jury selection, listening for those exact texts. I think the defense is starting to something about and going to talk about it in rebuttal. And then it cuts off and it says, "How's it doing?" And then it says, "November at 2:02 p.m. Replied to Lauren, how's it doing? My comment, I'm pretty sure it's the top one." At the bottom, it says, "Christina, I blocked you because I'm tired of being harassed and threatened by others who are misinformed and illegally sharing and taking private chats out of context. The only coward in this conversation is the one who is unable to acknowledge any wrongdoing whatsoever. So who's starting fires?" And then we have this comment from Humane Human One, and it reads, "Supposedly Lauren poached Annie's employee and the employee is recycling scripts she did for Annie for Lauren. Not sure if this is one of those cases, but a friend of mine overheard the girl she poached from Annie talk all about it at one of the trials." And then at the very bottom, this, I guess, email from Lauren reads, "When someone tells me to stop engaging, my response is to stop. But here you continue harassing me in emails even though I blocked you. You're obviously misinformed about Gigi. I never wrote an anonymous hit piece about Gigi. That was written quite openly by Julie Holden, yes, a mod, and someone who attended Caitlin Armstrong trial daily. She was correcting some factual errors that Gigi had made regarding a case I never covered. It was never a hit piece, and Julie Holden doesn't hide her identity, nor did I ever anonymously write the factual correction from court. That was Julie. I asked how the comment was doing, which was supporting my friend, nothing more or less. I'm not sure how that has anything to do with smearing someone. Journalists typically adhere to factual analysis, unlike your correspondence, which is creating a false and defamatory narrative about me based upon a distortion of the facts and a misattribution of a post I never wrote. But why let facts get in the way of your far fetched and false narratives about me? I blocked you and agreed to stop engaging, but I guess you had to have the last word because apparently you have no flaws and have never made a mistake in your life. So I will ask, please do not contact me. The fact that you continue to contact me after I blocked you leads me to question my safety. Are you going to show up at my home next, since you know where I live, and berate me until you believe your false narratives about me are proven to your confused satisfaction? I am also asking you stop posting lies and false information about me publicly, which negatively impacts my business. If you continue to harass me and disobey my requests, I will be forced to take legal action. Lauren." I think that's the end of the email. Yep. The document continues. On April 15th of 2025, I was confronted by a friend of Christine's named Janice S. at the same courthouse. This incident is on film. Exhibit 7, Janice. Okay, so let's grab that.
Are you recording me?
No, I need to
Please
talk to
do.
you. Okay, I need to
And
talk
please
to you.
Okay, there's two parts of this exhibit. That was A, and now this is B. Oh, hold on. Let me turn the volume up. Don't know why it's already on some and not others.
Please do not talk to me. I feel threatened.
Well, I need to talk to you about the stuff you said.
Please do
about
not
me.
talk to me. I feel threatened.
Okay, I feel threatened by the things you're saying about me.
So then let's stay away from each other.
I'm gonna
I
talk
think
to
that
you.
you're a bully. Please stay away. I feel threatened.
Oh, really, Lauren?
If you want to know my thoughts and opinions and speculations about what we're reading and seeing, they are in the live stream. I don't share them on the videos because I want you to come up with your own opinions. The article continues. Janice was told by the bailiffs she needed to leave me alone and stay away from me. I don't know if I've said article, but I meant document. The document continues. Fast forward to June, and Christina created both a TikTok and an Instagram account solely about me, where she continues to post harmful things about me in efforts to, quote, expose, unquote, me. The first TikTok about me posted on her personal page and later on her targeted page is her telling her friends that I wanted to use my brother's sperm with an egg donor so that I or a surrogate could carry his baby. My brother passed away in March after being in a devastating ATV accident in 2023. Christina is telling her followers that I wanted to non-consensually collect my brother's sperm while he lay in a vegetative state, unable to walk, talk, or have any basic function without assistance, to have a child with him. This led to a flurry of comments from people about me, including one about this being a form of RAPE, to which Christina responds, quote, yeah, you may be right, unquote. She has made multiple TikToks talking about this so-called, quote, RAPE, unquote, she claims I wanted to do to my brother, which is simply untrue, completely malicious, and emotionally harmful. Then we have Exhibit 8 titled Brother. Hold on. All right, here we go.
One of the things that was a red flag that I should have seen, instead of chalking it up like, oh, that's a little weird, but whatever. So her brother got in an accident and he was in a coma, okay? So he was brain dead in a coma. She said she wanted to get her brother's sperm extracted from him.
Okay. Let me move the mic. It says, Christina, how could she do that without his consent is beyond me. Anyway, I could not wait to fill my lifelong friends in on some of the wild red flags I saw, but somehow ignored in a year-long friendship. My girl's reaction was the absolute best. I felt bad for my ex-friend for half a second because she will never experience relationships like these. Girls that genuinely have each other's back, girls that don't spread lies or rumors, girls that love to their core, girls that are literal ride or dies. But then I remembered that this ex friend did this to herself. They're her calculated actions. She doesn't want a relationship like this. It's her loss, and I refuse to feel bad for her. I had zero desire to go public with her actions until she started poking the bear and messing with amazing, kind humans. I'll explain more later. So I decided that silence was complicitness, and I'm not complicit. Again, this is not gossip or drama. This is rooted in truth and facts, and I have receipts. Hashtag friendship, hashtag stand up for yourself, hashtag consent. Now we're at the comments. The first comment says, I'm pretty sure that would be a form of RAPE. Christina replies, yeah, you may be right. Someone says, wait, where does the RAPE part come into play in this scenario? Someone else said, how would she get the sperm? I said, form of. The other person underneath says, I saw passionate color palette and thought you were referring to those rent and outfit ensembles that were being shilled for a while. Someone else said, I wouldn't believe this if I had not heard it with my own ears, with mind blown emojis. Christina replied to that, so wild that multiple people were told at multiple different times.
One of the things that was a red flag that I should.
And then a person wrote, and the last one is Christina the creator doing hashtags of toxic ex-friend, bad friend vibes, toxic relationship, etc., etc. Now we will go back to the document and I will grab the mic. Okay. So on June 19th, the court document continues. On June 19th, 2025, I received word that things were going to, quote, go public, unquote, and that people wanted my head on a platter. 28. I called the police as I was once again fearful for my safety with such a vague threat. The police called Christina and she recorded that phone call and posted it to TikTok and Instagram, mocking the police officer. Now we've got Exhibit 9. Police video MP4.
I mean, obviously you don't know the case law off the top of your head. I have an officer calling me. Spouting something is the law. And I want to know what, like, so I can wait a second for sure. I know, but what's the case law? I want the case law, please.
And then you said you don't screenshot them, but then all of a sudden...
No, but I kind of want to now. Like, if she's kind of harassing me. So I feel like I kind of want to. But, like, what's the law?
Well, if you need to, then file a report down there if you get harassed.
I know, but what's the Nevada law? What?
I was just doing some searching. Here's the thing. I'm a patrol officer. I'm not going to my own say I'm a best detective or anything, right? So I did do my due diligence and do some searching as well. So I didn't copy everything because there's so many laws that we just don't know them all.
No, I can respect that. I can respect that.
Sometimes we need to, we need to do a little bit of extra searching and things like that. So,
but I feel like to have a police officer telling me that, like, because to have a police officer telling me it's against the law to do that, I actually have several examples of her sending so many screenshots to me from other people. So,
well, then person would be the victim.
Yes, so I could also inform that person that she would be the victim of this.
Yeah.
So, but my question is, like, I mean, obviously you don't know the case law off the top of your head. I have an officer calling me. Spouting something is the law. And I want to know what, like, so I can wait a second for sure. Like, I know, like, I'm giving you grace here. Like, I get it. You don't have all the, like, I can't even remember my kids' names in a row at sometimes. Like, I can't even imagine remembering all the laws. So I can wait a second for sure, but I definitely am curious.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
I mean, obviously.
So it started over again, and then I'll just let you guys read the comments as it plays. You can feel free to pause it. They're asking for a part 2. Things like that. All right, and that's the end of that exhibit. Now we're back on the document. On July 29th of 2025, she began posting clips of my voice on her targeted social media accounts. The first clip of my voice was part of the conversation we had at the courthouse on April 9th of 2025, despite the courthouse having a no recording policy. The video in which she compared me to infamous murder Jodi Arias has garnered over 33,000 views on TikTok. And now we have Exhibit 10 voice clip.
So, like I said, she wanted to talk then, which totally caught me off guard, but I thought, okay, fine, let's see what she has to say. And what unfolded next was unreal. It was like watching someone trapped in their own maze of lies, spinning stories so fast she couldn't even keep up with herself. When one lie didn't land, she'd just pivot mid-sentence into a completely different one, like no shame, just constant spinning. And at one point she literally started mumbling under her breath, having an entire conversation by herself while I was just standing there.
You should have at least done your makeup, Jody. Gosh.
Yeah, because and then, right, like, and by the way, that started, they were, like, it's, like, and I was like, would they do that to me? Like, anyway. Yeah, no, I know. So in many ways, I feel catfish, but it's.
And then in 1 second, she snapped and was like, oh, sorry, back to you.
But back to you.
And this is the part that killed me. She told me that we had to have that conversation right now because I kept repeating, you're in fight, flight, or freeze. Probably not the best time to talk. But she said, no, we have to talk now. My assistant is, quote, always with me. I'm never alone, unquote. Girl, no. I honestly think she just didn't want her assistant finding out what she'd done. So like I.
And then we have the comments again. I'm so here for this. I know this person and have been weary from day one. So glad you got, quote, out, unquote. Dude, same. You're lucky alarm bells went off too. Yes, this. You deserve Rex Bergen. Whoa. Christina replied, right. Someone says she definitely doesn't want her producer or assistant to know who she really is, but the actual conversation is completely mind blowing. Christina says, I'm still laughing at her talking to herself. Someone said, all the back to yous killed me. Christina said, so anyway, back to you. We got some mind blowing emojis. Christina says, right? Someone says, girl playing her voice is diabolical. Christina said, as in give you more? Or maybe I went too far with this post. And then someone said, no, we need more. 100% keep going was another comment. I agree. We need more. I think this chick she's talking about sounds like the diabolical one. Oh, she is. I just love that she put the actual audio. The actual audio is mind blowing. It continues. Back to the article, on July 13th, she posted a video with a photo of me, which is a well known photo with the clown emoji over my face. Once again, trying to get people to identify who I am to come after me. Then we have Exhibit 11, which is clown photo.
At the end of the day, they have to decide who they want to be. And this one decided to be a jackass. But at the end of the day, they have to decide who they want to be.
Okay, so let me play that again.
At the end of the day, they have to decide who they want to be.
Okay. Let me get close. Okay, the video says she doesn't have a clue who she's messing with because you don't care what people do to you. But those you care about, you'll defend them so hard. My cousin, she's not wrong. And that's where I'm at. Friendship, hashtag red flags, hashtag who is the something friend. I cannot wait to hear how she tries to dig herself out of the hole she's in today. It's got the looking eyes emojis. And then there's
And this
clown
one
face over
decided to be
Matthais.
a jackass. But at the end of the day,
Somebody was going to comment. It says, someone says, seems like she's always was a jackass. Christina said,
they
that is
have to
true.
decide who they
Someone said, I just adore you with a bunch of hearts. And she replied,
want to.
I adore you more. Back to the document. On July 14th of 2025, I was on an episode of Mormon Stories podcast, and Christina wrote in the comments with eye emojis in an effort to let people know she was watching. Exhibit 12. eyes comment. Watching you eye comment is what it's titled. And there you can see, hey, Christina Mack put the eye comment. There she is in the Mormon Stories podcast. Shortly after that episode premiered on July 17th of 2025, John DeHelen, the host of Mormon Stories, received a cryptic email thread about me with a link to the TikTok. In this thread, the writer of the email claims that Christina will continue to post the horrible things I've done and that she is intentionally not using my name, but it is about me. We have Exhibit 13, JD email. All right. So the email starts on July 16th of 2025 at 12:15 p.m. from Felicia O. Shields. Hey, Dr. DeHelen, I thought I would reach out to you to share some concern for the community and for your channel. There's a lot going on behind the scenes involving Lauren Matthais in the true crime community. This has been brewing for years now and has recently blew up. There's a TikTok account exposing some of her disturbing behavior. There is a community that is delving into her husband's and overall credibility credentials and overall credibility. Lauren has been blacklisted by a huge Facebook community because of what she has done to the admins. Ask Kay Woodcock about her. Ask other victims, such as Kay in the LDD or Lori Vallow Daybell homicides. Don't you think it's odd that Lauren has no contact with Kay anymore? That's all I can say about that. Ask any of the true crime channels on YouTube that she has had an interaction with, or news affiliates and their journalists that are the face of their networks, what their involvement with her has been. I'm not going to name names, but just look up Lori Vallow Daybell headlines and the journalist who was in charge. The journalists that were the ones who exposed Lori Vallow Daybell from the jump. Ask anyone who is anyone in the true crime community about Lauren. Lauren will deny all of this. She will make up outlandish lies and excuses and make everyone else out to be liars. I think you're intelligent enough to know that when everyone else is singing the same song, it's everyone else who is correct. Here is the link to the TikTok account that's slowly exposing her. Lauren does not deserve a platform, especially one that she has personally blocked all of those from that can tell everyone about her treatment of them. I wish you the best with your channel. Thanks for all that you do. And it's sent from my iPhone. Then we have the TikTok link to Christina. That was sent on Wednesday, July 16th at 2025 at 10:17. And it says, if you do not want to look at the TikTok account that I shared, please at least look at this one. On July 16th at 12:33, Dr. John DeHelen said, Felicia, is that you in the TikTok channel? If not, is there a way I can reach her? From John. Someone said, it is not me, but I can reach out to Christy, who runs the channel, to get her information so you can reach out to one another. Would that work? And they wrote, hi there, John. I've not heard back from the TikTok creator, and I've since found out why that could be. It has come to my attention that you are friends with Lauren and have been for over 10 years. Also, that your daughter may possibly work for her. I imagine you can understand why the creator would not feel any trust in this situation. I suggest you follow her TikTok account. She has a lot more to share. There will be more revealed as to the horrible things Lauren has done to so many out there. I hope that there could possibly be some part of you that sees that this is actually serious and not some sort of smear campaign that with unfounded accusations. So sent from my iPhone. On Wednesday, July 16th, 2025 at 8:36, Dr. John said, do you live near SLC by chance? And it was signed John. And then he also said, oh, the person replied, no, never been, hopefully one day. John replied, "Are you a follower of Mormon Stories podcast? What made you write me?" said John. And then the person replied, "Don't allow her to take you down with her." Oh, I'm sorry. They wrote, "I watch from time to time. I have enjoyed episodes that I have been able to watch. You have a great thing going. I think what you're doing is important. I wrote you because of the fact you gave Lauren a platform. She's on high alert at the moment, and it was perfect timing for her to do your show in an attempt to do damage control. Don't allow her to take you down with her." He replied, "I watched the TikTok videos. The allegations seem super vague and a bit petty. Can you please tell me the main things Lauren has done wrong and provide any evidence you can? I'd be so super grateful. I will not promote dangerous people, but I need details and evidence, and that TikTok channel was weak on both. They didn't even mention Lauren's name. Please help. I want to do the right thing. Thanks, Felicia," from John. Felicia wrote back, "Good morning, John. I can understand where you're coming from. Lauren's name is not mentioned. There is a reason for this. There are many in the true crime community that know without a doubt that she is speaking of Lauren. The creator is being petty intentionally. Keep watching her. She's going to continue to share more and more, so much more. Again, reach out to other true crime YouTube content creators that have had interactions with Lauren. Reach out to journalists that have been the face of cases that Lauren has worked on. Lori Vallow Daybell case, Delphi case, victims of cases. Get the information that you are looking for straight from those that Lauren has attempted to hurt. I wasn't going to name names, but I am being told to tell you to reach out to Nate Eaton of East Idaho News. I will leave you with this. Ask Lauren face to face how well she knows her assistant cameraman on her video of phone pings in Yellowstone for the Lori Vallow Daybell case. They also said reach out to Bob Mata and Andrea Burkhart too. Back to the article. On July 23rd, 2025, I was in Boise, Idaho, reporting at the Brian Koberger sentencing. Prior to the press conference, I was looking for a seat. There were not many, but there was one open next to a woman named Lindsay H., who is a former producer of mine and a close friend of Christine's. I asked Lindsay if the seat was available, and a woman named Lori D., also one of Christina's friends, began screaming at me not to talk to Lindsay because I had previously sent her a cease and desist. I simply ignored and walked away. During that day, myself and my producer, Greyson, were constantly filmed by Christina's group of friends, which include Lindsay H., Janice S., Lori D., Sarah P., Julie L., and Emma L. All are involved in commenting and reposting the content on these targeted social media pages. And then we have Exhibit 14, Janice filming. That one I don't have. That night, my producer and I went to a local restaurant in Boise to have dinner after the sentencing. We sat outside the restaurant and were enjoying our dinner when I noticed Janice S. was filming me from outside of the restaurant property. I turned my camera on for safety, and shortly after that, Lori D. and Sarah P. came up to my dinner table confronting me. And then we have Exhibit 15, which is the dinner incident. Now you have to listen closely to this because you won't see much, but they'll be arguing back and forth.
She was recording me, so I did what you did. I just like waved, and then she proved she was, but I just flipped me off as I waved. Like, I'm like, I don't know what. Don't stare. Don't stare. I do. Remember what we decided. Thank you. Please do not give them air.
About today?
What?
About today? You sent her a cease and desist. You had the cops call Christina about stuff that you shouldn't be waving at her. You shouldn't be coming, talking to her. You should be staying far away from her.
So the cops have nothing to do with what
I'm just saying, don't.
I was asking about a seat. I was asking about a seat. I walked away.
You said Lindsay. You said Lindsay.
Christina,
Lindsay.
too.
Is anyone sitting here? Don't talk to her.
Lindsay's in her 30s. She can talk to her. Lindsay's in her 30s.
Don't talk to her.
Lindsay can
Illegal.
talk
I'm
to
not
her.
talking to you.
Lindsay doesn't want to talk to her. She sent her a cease and desist letter. Why would Lindsay talk to her?
The cease and desist is letter to Christina, and the police calling Christina. I didn't request that.
I can't hear
Someone,
you.
Just stay away.
someone that
Stay away. Just stop acting like nothing happened, that you haven't done anything. Leave
I
her alone.
haven't done anything, and I will stand by that
You sent her
forever.
a cease and desist?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with you guys. It has nothing to do with
We are her
this.
friends, and we will back her up till the
A
day
cease
she
and
dies.
desist is a legal business. It has nothing to do with you guys.
Things that you did. You in that.
What did I do?
Things, you accused her of things you did.
What did I
You
do?
sent her cease and desist, and then
What
you
did I
approached
do?
her. You approached her after you
A
sent
cease
her
and
a
desist?
Why would you want to approach her after you sent her a cease and desist?
asked if there was
I
a chair
asked if I
available.
could
I know. I
sit.
told her there
I was
wasn't.
at
Okay,
a
so
press
who cares?
conference.
So then she
You're
kept
at a press
asking.
conference.
I
You're
know.
at a press
What does that have
conference.
to do with anything?
When there's not a lot of seats, you say,
There
"Is
were
there a
lots of
seat?"
empty seats she could have sat at, but she chose to ask about sitting. She chose to specifically approach somebody by name that she sent a cease and desist to. It's just like
Great.
oral
Guess what?
way
You know what?
figuring
I work with Lindsay, and she tried to get me sued. So guess what? I don't give a fuck.
I don't know you.
Well, you know me. You don't know
No,
me. well.
I
You
have
know
your
me.
phone number because I wanted to get eyelash extensions, but we've never hung out.
No,
I don't know you.
never said we
So
did.
could you please get away from our table because you're making me uncomfortable. I don't know you. I don't know why you guys approached us. We asked about a seat at a press conference. I don't approach you guys when we're all hanging out together.
We don't all hang out together.
You guys, I know. So you're approaching me while I'm trying to have dinner. I approached you at a press conference about a seat. Could you please? She's bothering us. Could you tell her to leave us alone? I don't know her. I've never communicated with her.
Sorry, Hoochie, I don't know why that's not up yet,
Thank
but
you.
at least they got the mic out.
So there was that. Continuing with the document. Janice continued to film the confrontation from outside of the restaurant. The waiter came over as Lori D walked away while Sarah P continued her confrontation. After leaving the restaurant, they walked to the restaurant across and sat there waiting for us to leave the restaurant we were eating at. Both myself and Greyson were in fear for our safety and eventually called the police to help escort us. Now we have Exhibit 16 titled Waiting.
So I just want to explain what happened. Here's Grayson. Here am I. I had this sitting here because this is where it is. And now, after they had dinner, they're sitting across. We felt threatened. I told him he felt threatened. And now, here they all are, sitting across at a different restaurant, getting groceries. It's Lindsay. It's Lori. And they're looking. And I feel like we can't leave, and now we feel frightened. And one thing they said, we've been very drama-free all afternoon. We worked the same trial. And one thing they said as they approached our table is stop acting like nothing's wrong. We're just trying to be professional while we cover trials together. That's our waiter, and we asked him to get rid of them. And we now feel like we can't leave. And they're all sitting in there. I'm looking side-eye. I don't want to look over because they're like waiting for us, and so I'm not leaving.
So there was that exhibit. After hearing about everything, Officer Jacobs called the on-call prosecutor and took a report for stalking. And then we have reference to report number something. And I think this is the report. Possibly. It says, I was contacted by Redacted and Redacted at the Bitter Creek Ale House on 8th Street on the above date and time. Redacted explained to me that a group of women, including all of those women and that women, have engaged in a course of conduct since April of 2025 until the present that has caused her great alarm and fear. She advised me that she had a falling out with Redacted, who at one time was her colleague. Since then, she was approached and harassed by J and S in Arizona courthouse and had to have the bailiffs tell J to leave her alone. All of the females have made TikToks disparaging Lauren and cyberbullying her. On July 23rd of 2025, Redacted asked for a seat at the press conference area of the Koberger trial, and L&D started to yell at her. Later in the evening, Redacted were eating at Bitter Creek Ale House. I'm going to assume that was Lauren and Greyson. They were approached by L&D and Redacted, who were harassing them and trying to intimidate them. L and Redacted were asked to leave by staff. Lauren provided me 2 videos of 2 different incidents, including the one at Bitter Creek Ale House. I did not see any intimidating or threatening behavior in the videos. I contacted 3 of the females, and they advised me that Lauren had contacted them several times, and the incidents have been back and forth. So they took a report, but that was about it. Initial response or contact. On the above date and time, I was working as the sergeant for the Boise Police Department in full uniform and a marked police vehicle. While working, I self-assigned to harassment call at Bitter Creek Ale House located at the address. When I arrived, I spoke with calling party Lauren via telephone. Lauren advised me that a group of females she is familiar with followed her to Bitter Creek Ale House and confronted her. Lauren advised this group of females has been harassing her, creating TikToks about her, and bullying her since April of 2025. Lauren advised she used to work with the female with the initials LH and L was her producer, and last year they split ways. When they split ways, Redacted made a comment that L was a bully. According to Redacted, since that time, Elle and her friends have been harassing her. Redacted said that they are making TikToks about her, cyberbullying her, and contacting her in various locations. She advised that on April 9th of 2025, inside the Maricopa County Courthouse, a female by the name of Redacted approached Redacted about hurt feelings. So Christina approached Lauren about hurt feelings. She recorded Lauren and their private conversation in an area that recording was not allowed. Lauren texted with Christina not to share her private conversation, and this turned into a back and forth battle via text and emails. On April 15th, J and S approached, I'm assuming Lauren, to speak with her at a courthouse in Arizona. Lauren advised J that she did not want to talk to her due to her actions. Lauren was concerned enough that she advised the bailiff at the courthouse of the person's actions. The bailiff at the time contacted the person and advised her not to speak with Lauren any further. Lauren said after that contact, they made more TikToks about her and even made comments that Lauren wanted to RAPE her own brother. Lauren said everything and everywhere she goes, they will videotape her and harass her. Lauren advised that it got bad enough that she sent a cease and desist letter to the girls. On this date, which was July 23rd of 2025, Lauren arrived at Coburg trial sentencing. When she arrived, several of these females, including one of them, was also present. Due to the small amount of seating, Lauren attempted to find a seat, and the only seats that were available were close to L. She asked L if she could sit near her, at which time J and S, who is a friend of L and H, told Lauren to stop speaking to her because she'd already sent a cease and desist letter. Later in the evening, around 23 hours, Lauren was at the Bitter Creek Ale House. At this time, she was having dinner with her new producer. Lauren and Greyson were there. While they were there, they noticed that Jay was filming them from outside the restaurant, and she flipped them off. Lauren felt uncomfortable, so she began filming as well. They were then contacted by Redacted and the other ones who came up from behind them. According to Lauren and Greyson, the girl started yelling at them and was trying to intimidate them. She was speaking with them about the many confrontations they'd had over the last few months. Eventually, the waiter came over and asked the person to leave. They walked away and went across the street to a restaurant and stayed there for approximately an hour. Lauren believed they were staying there so they could confront them when they left the restaurant. At that time, she called the police department because she felt uncomfortable and wanted an escort to her vehicle. I also spoke with two other redacted people. She advised me that she was aware of the situation and she had been filmed at the Brian Koberger trial. She said that Jay was filming her and putting a camera up close to her face during the trial. Lauren was concerned by this action but ignored her. Lauren, I'm assuming, noticed that Jay was filming her and redacted while they were sitting at the restaurant, and they also advised that redacted spoke with them. She also advised that the females were sitting across the street at a restaurant. She was very concerned and fearful for her safety, which is why both her and Lauren decided to call the police department. When I looked at Lauren, I could see her face was flushed and she was shaking slightly. She was also darting her eyes around 8th Street trying to look for this group of women. I was able to contact three of the subjects that Lauren spoke to me about. One of them was redacted, one was the L and J redacted, and one was LDJ, said that Lauren had been talking shit about her husband back in Arizona. She wanted to speak to her about it, so she confronted Lauren at the Maricopa County Courthouse. Lauren contacted the bailiffs. The bailiffs came out and spoke with Janice. She advised that the bailiff took her aside and knew that she was not threatening. Janice just wanted to speak with Lauren about her talking badly about her husband. She advised that the bailiff and her chuckled about the situation. She said she was advised that staying away from Lauren would be the best course of action. Lauren showed me the video of the interaction, and I did not see anything threatening or intimidating about the contact. Then Janice told me that they were at the restaurant before Lauren arrived and that they were eating food. They had been there for approximately 2 hours before Lauren arrived, and she arrived as they were leaving. Jay noticed that Lauren was at the restaurant, however, she did not contact her. She advised that her group did stay in the area, but they had gone across the street to a restaurant to have carrot cake. She said they were not staying there to contact Lauren. I also spoke with L and D, and she advised me she did speak with Lauren and Greyson at the restaurant, but was only there to speak with them about contacting L at the courthouse and just wanted to know why they had done it. She said she was not attempting to be confrontational or intimidating. Once they were asked to leave, she left immediately. L also advised that it has been Lauren who has come up to them many times and has attempted to have contact with them. She said it has been back and forth between the subjects and not one sided at all. I also spoke with Redacted, and she said that on this date she went with L and D to the restaurant to speak with Lauren. However, Lauren was the one who was speaking with Redacted. Once they were asked to leave, they left and they went and had dessert across the street. She also reiterated that Lauren has contacted them several times and it has been a back and forth conversation, not one sided. I did not have contact information for Redacted, and I was not able to make contact with L and H. I did advise all subjects that I spoke with that this would be put into a report. I also advised all of them that they should no longer have contact with Lauren. Also advised Lauren and Grayson that they should no longer have contact with these subjects. Lauren advised me that they had videos. I provided them with a community contract to add the videos to Axon evidence. Those videos should be added. I watched some of the videos that Lauren provided me. While watching the videos from Arizona and the contacts from Idaho, I did not see anything that was threatening or intimidating. Lauren, however, does feel intimidated due to the fact that she's had several contacts with them and it seems to be escalating in her opinion. Witness statements were filled out by Redacted and Redacted. Conclusion. This report is a summary of the conversation I had with these subjects. It was written to the best of my recollection. For any further information, please see the video. And that's the end of, oh, no. Ada County Sheriff's Department, Boise Police Department. So somebody wrote on 7/25 of 25 at 23:27 hours, a group of women have been harassing and stalking and cyberbullying me for months. Their names are all redacted. I am a podcast host journalist/reporter who covers criminal trials. One was my producer and did graphic design. We fired her. Months later, sent her a cease and desist due to defamation in regards to hearing from professionals who stated things she was saying. On April 9th of 2025, inside Maricopa County Courthouse, the lady approached me about hurt feelings. She recorded me in the courthouse while there was no record order in play. Once I learned this, I requested she not share my private combos, and after numerous texts, I blocked her, and she resorted to email. I then requested redacted not contact me again because I felt concerned for my safety and her sharing my private conversations. Email will be in evidence. Blank continued to film redacted. Approached me at the Arizona County Courthouse. I started recording for my safety. And one morning, as I attempted to enter the courthouse for trial, reporting on Lori Daybell on April 15th of 2025, she approached me. I asked her to leave me alone and recorded the incident on 2 separate recordings. The bailiff at the courthouse saw these videos, will add to evidence, and requested Janice to stay away from me. Once I went home to Nevada, a cyberbullying campaign was launched by all women on TikTok and Instagram. Redacted was the face, but she used videos and photos of the other women listed who also commented to back up the bullying campaign. I've never responded to the incessant attacks, although painful, including suggesting I wanted to RAPE my dying baby brother. All the redacted names all appear and comment in internet bullying. Now, at Koberger's sentencing, I continue to do my work without drama or giving them air or attention while they continue to film, harass, or get angry. I asked for a seat at a press conference. Tonight, while eating dinner, we started filming because I felt fearful. They approached my table, redacted, video and evidence, while I requested they leave us alone, redacted, flipped me off. I can't read the rest of that. Wow, what a stark contrast. Okay. So this one says for months there has been a small group of girls who have been harassing my boss, both in person and online, and following her state to state to physically approach and intimidate her. It started when Redacted approached Lauren in the courthouse, filming her when there was no filming rule. Audio of that has since been posted online. After that interaction, I witnessed Redacted receive threatening phone calls. Then a couple of days later, Redacted approached Redacted at the courthouse, following her in because she was being threatening. The bailiffs made her stay away or they would remove her. Then Redacted would continue to try and linger near Redacted, so I always stayed nearby to try and keep Redacted away. If I saw her, I would just tell Redacted I saw her and she would walk away because she is scared. Then in June, they launched a TikTok page about Redacted. Redacted started it after Redacted told her to leave her alone and never contact her again. Also in June, Redacted continued to follow Redacted around the courthouse in Arizona. Lori Day, redacted, said to her, cure all something in that TikTok today at court. We were looking for seats, very limited in the press. Redacted, conference room at the Ada County Courthouse. Redacted asked if a seat was available, and Redacted started yelling at her about a cease and desist she had sent to them. After that, Redacted was putting a camera up a couple of feet from my face to intimidate me. I ignored, and she continued filming me outside. Then at dinner tonight, we noticed Redacted filming Redacted and me. We did not know she was around prior. Redacted turned our camera on for safety, and all of a sudden, Redacted came up from behind us, yelling at us, trying to intimidate us. The waiter came over and we asked him to make Redacted leave. They had finally walked away by then. They all walked to the restaurant across the street and sat there watching us to wait for us. Our waiter let us stay. I saw them there because I had walked out for a phone call and saw Redacted sit up and move like she was going to approach me. At this point, I am fearful for my safety and fearful for Lauren's safety. They follow us state to state with one intention: to stalk, intimidate, and harass us. They are showing a clear pattern of escalation with every unwanted and unwarranted contact they make. Lord have mercy. All right. We're at number 47. This is a current matter being investigated by the Boise Police Department. The report will reflect that we had no idea this group had eaten dinner at the same restaurant that evening. The waiter explained to us and the officer that they had been eating inside. We never went inside, so we were simply unaware they were there. However, after that incident, Christina made a social media video about the incident, claiming that her and her friends were defending Lindsay H., who had received a cease and desist. In that video posted on August 8th, Christina used an audio clip of me from a recent interview I did on July 27th of 2025. We've got Exhibit 17. Again, I apologize for this being unedited and me misspeaking some. This is a really long video, and my internet is very slow, unfortunately, right now. So I want to go ahead and get this recorded and get it out to you guys, but I don't usually record videos without editing out the bad parts. This is Exhibit 17, Confrontation Recap.
Abusers will often create problems to get a reaction so that you look like the problem.
She sent my friend, let's call her friend a cease and desist, and then walked right up to her to start talking. Friend A avoided her completely. They work in the same space, so overlap happens. But the rule friend A made was simple. If she talks to me, I will not speak to her back. One night, my friend, including friend A and others, are at a restaurant. They've been there for 2 hours. As they're about to wrap up their dinner and leave, ex-friend walks in and sits by the door with her assistant. It's a choose your own seating restaurant, and she chose to sit by the exit. A friend of mine, let's call her friend B, walks out of the bathroom and sees ex-friend and says to her, "Do not talk to friend A. You sent her a cease and desist, full of lies, by the way, and she does not want to talk to you." Friend B then walks away. Of course, ex-friend is like, "Oh, she can fight her own battles." Well, duh, she can fight her own battles, but you sent her freaking cease and desist full of untrue claims. So you're making others fight her battle. Okay? Okay. Hours later, my ex-friend goes to the police claiming my friends were stalking her, even though my friends had been at that restaurant first. For multiple hours had been at that restaurant first. It's like calling 911 on someone for being in the same room you just walked into. That's how unhinged this ex-friend is.
I know that abusers will often create problems to get a reaction so that you look like the problem or that they look like the solution. Yes. So that is a really interesting. Abusers will.
And that's the end of that. People are saying, "Preach, girl, tell the truth." Yes, ma'am. Ex-friend is the master at creating the problem. You can say that again. This is so clear. Master. Truth. You rock, Christina. Love you to the moon. Christina said, "All means the world to me from you." She should be arrested for filing a false police report. Filing too, said Christina. Oh my God, she continues to outdo herself. Okay, back to the document. On July 29th of 2025, Christina also posted another video of my voice. Example 18, Exhibit 18. I keep saying example, I mean exhibit. Hot mic.
A lot today from I even took a picture.
I noticed she likes you. She
her
came
and
over.
I talked a lot. And she even came to me after and she said, "Thank you for being so kind."
Yeah,
and
I noticed
she was very open to me asking anything because she knew I was kind to her. I got a lot today from I even took a picture.
Okay, so the car horn you hear is them redacting somebody's name, and they're talking about, they went up, she talked to somebody, it sounds like Greyson. She went up and talked to somebody, and the person commented on how kind she was and said she could ask me anything. I could ask her anything because I was so very kind to her. And Lauren saying, oh, she wouldn't say that if she knew I was friends with you. So it seems as though they approached somebody that Lauren didn't like, unbeknownst to the person that Lauren didn't like. Greyson was working for Lauren or on Lauren's side, and asked her questions and things like that. It seems kind of like a mean girl tactic. That's the way this sounds. And then she says hot mic, as in I need to turn this mic off. Oh, let me turn this off before we get recorded. Now it's going to play it again. I'll let you listen. Feel free to pause it or rewind.
A lot today from me. I even took a picture.
I noticed she likes you. She
her
came
and
over.
I talked a lot. And she even came to me after and she said, thank you for being so kind. Yeah, and then she was very open to me asking anything because she knew I was kind to her. I got a lot today from.
Okay, so I wanted you to hear it without interruption. Now to the comments, the way they talk over each other, too funny. There's a vomit face. Hey, collab, follow us. Someone said, why would you even acknowledge a hot mic? It only makes it more obvious that you're hiding something. Just stop talking then and there. Acknowledging a hot mic often just draws attention to whatever was said, and it can come off.
She even came to me after and she said, thank you for being so kind. Yeah, and then she was very open to me asking anything.
Points out a hot mic and scrambles to explain. It signals panic or guilt, even if what was said wasn't actually damning. Silence, on the other hand, lets things cool down and avoids feeding the fire. Christina said, ha ha ha. It's like the couple exposing their affair at the Coldplay concert.
Anything she knew I was kind to her.
Somebody else wrote, oh, hot mic, then proceeds to say how much she loves the person they're planning and plotting to expose. And then Christina wrote, yeah, classic L and T. Someone else said, exactly, these two have talked shit about her before. I noticed she liked you. Did you notice she doesn't like me? This conversation is so catty. They sound like mean girls in the cafeteria. I bet they wear bows on Wednesday. Christina said, at this point, she blows Regina George's actions out of the water. Regina eventually felt some level of remorse. This human allegedly is incapable.
A lot today for me.
Okay. It continues. On August 6th of 2025, Christina published a video with photos of my husband's website. My husband, John, is a clinical and forensic psychologist licensed in both Utah and Nevada. Christina questioned his credentials and spoke about calling University of Nevada, Las Vegas, where he is an adjunct professor, to inquire about whether or not he is an adjunct professor. John has been an informal adjunct professor for over 20 years and takes on a new student every year, supervising them as they work on their thesis. Now we have Exhibit 19, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And it says stalking of husband.
My ex-friend uses as almost street cred are her husband's credentials. She claims that he is a criminal psychologist, a forensic psychologist, and a clinical psychologist. He has a psychology license. I found that that's a fact. She also claims he's been an adjunct professor at UNLV since 2007. Because this involves other people and I'm trying to figure out what's fact versus fiction, I decided to call up UNLV and see if Dr. So-and-so has been an adjunct professor since 2007. No, you have no records at all working for UNLV? No. Okay. Well, I find a paper online that shows that he's willing to supervise PhD students doing their thesis project. My question is the man who got his PhD in philosophy, not psychology, philosophy, got his master's degree in marriage and family and child counseling, that does not have his PhD in psychology, then able to call himself a doctor of psychology or able to supervise doctorates in psychology when he has his doctorate in philosophy. Also, is he able to be a forensic psychologist? One of the things.
Okay, the comment says, I would think this is all highly unethical. Christina said, right, and they've low key made a name out of pushing these things, which is even more gross. Christina said, if anyone is a forensic psychologist, please tell me. Someone says, hidden on purpose, along with any ethics. Someone else said, it's a house of cards from day one. Christina replied to hidden on purpose, along with any ethics. Maybe we are just in denial? Somebody else wrote, it's a house of cards from day one. Christina said, stacked in the most obscure of ways. And then someone else said, so quick search past the first result in Google shows. Undergrad in philosophy, Princeton masters in therapy, doctorate in psychology from University of SoCal, specialty in forensics, kind of like any profession, licensed in at least 2 states with strict licensing requirements. I am not a, and it says F, I'm going to assume fan, and you could click more, but they didn't. Christina said also a search of the site just confirmed he supervised a few students. Supervised, not adjunct professor. This person wrote, easy to appoint yourself as a victim advocate so you can sit with victims and paw all over them throughout trial. Christina said, oh, definitely on brand for you to be spicy. Someone said if he's doing adjunct stuff at University of Las Vegas, that means he's licensed in Nevada. In order to be licensed in Nevada, you have to have a doctoral degree in psychology. A PhD is a doctor in philosophy per your screenshot. So yes, he would have a psychology doctorate, and yes, he could supervise students. They didn't click more. Oh, students, and yes, he could do forensic work. Christina replied, he is not an adjunct professor, though. That has been debunked. Not sure how you got PhD in philosophy to psychology, though. PSYD is a doctorate in psychology. They replied, or somebody wrote, PSYD is just a different and relatively new program that allows you to be licensed psychologist without doing a dissertation. PhD is research focused, while PSYD is more clinically focused, but both are legit ways to become a psychologist. And PhD is going to, and the person could have clicked on more. It hasn't been debunked though. You literally showed a screenshot that he supervised students. That's an adjunct professor. You don't need to teach in a school to do that. Supervising students equals adjunct professor. If he's licensed, then he has his doctorate in psychology. They would have to click more. Somebody's trying to write. Okay, the first one where it reads, PSYD is just a different and relatively new program that allows you to be a licensed psychologist without doing a dissertation. PhD is research focused, while PSYD is more clinically focused, but both are legit ways to become a psychologist. And PhD is going to be a way more common thing because there's only a few PSYD programs and they're all very expensive versus a PhD program, which usually pays you a stipend to do the research for your university. The one that says it hasn't been debunked, though, you literally showed a screenshot that he supervised students. That's an adjunct professor. You don't need to teach at a school to do that. Supervising students equals adjunct professor. If he's licensed, then he has a doctorate in psychology. You can't work around that with state licensure. They're very strict. Someone wrote, willing to supervise and actually supervising students is different. The school themselves said they have zero record of him ever being an adjunct professor. Someone replied, where does it say in writing? It actually tells you that the practicum placement will be and is. All PhDs are doctorates in psychology. Yes, he has to have a doctorate of psychology and is able to supervise other students. And yes, he could be a forensic psychologist. Christina said, I'm going to copy and paste what I found on Google. Quote, no, not all PhDs are doctorates of psychology. A PhD or a doctorate of psychology is a doctoral degree awarded in many different fields of study, including psychology, but also encompassing areas like science, humanities, and engineering. while PhD in psychology is a doctorate. So is PSYD, Doctorate of Psychology. The key difference lies in their focus. A PhD in psychology emphasizes research and theory, while PSYD focuses more on clinical practice and application. Someone replied, I'm sorry, I meant doctorate of philosophy. And then the doctorate of philosophy is specialized in something, but PhD literally stands for philosophy doctorate. Anyone who has a PhD in anything, it stands for that. This one, they continue, like you can have your PhD in social work or in psychology or in nursing or in anthropology or in business, but all of them technically have a doctorate of philosophy because that's what PhD means. But if you have your PhD, you can go by the title doctor. So if you are a licensed psychologist with a doctorate rather than just a working therapist with a LMFT, he can call himself Dr. whatever. They replied, but it's misleading that he got it in education psychology, but then saying he can do assessments, right? At least that's what I'm gathering from a forensic psychologist that commented in here. If he's a licensed psychologist, someone else said he can do assessments, which he appears to be from your screenshot. Someone else said that's the difference between therapist and a psychologist. A psychologist can do assessments and testing. When he just had his LMFT, marriage and family therapy, no assessments, not a psychologist. He went on to get a PhD and he's a psychologist and something. Someone else wrote, so abbreviation PhD stands for Doctorate of Philosophy, and then when you go to school, you get PhD in a certain area. If he is practicing psychologist, then his PhD would be in some sort of psychology. If he has a real active license to practice as a psychologist, then in most states, he would need his doctorate in psychology and show proof of that. And some states allow licensure at the master's level. I don't know his background, and the screenshots confused me a little, but for someone to give forensic evaluations, they would either be a psychologist, so they either have a PhD or PSYD in psychology, or they have their MD and they are a psychiatrist. This is just me speaking from experience working at a forensic hospital. Oh my God, you've answered so much in this comment. Thank you for taking the time to do that. Okay, so it looks like next to his name it says PhD in education psychology. He undergrad was in philosophy from Princeton. So perhaps his education checks out. And of course, you're welcome. Okay, so maybe this is a way they have gotten away with other things for so long. They buried under some truths. Maybe this doctor should philosophize their own marriage. He. I went to respond to this comment and I may have accidentally deleted it. I don't know. But I think this is the answer to go with since she is an actual forensic psychologist. And it references that comment. Woo, good Lord. Again, I apologize for the not editing this video. It would take me a week to get it uploaded if I edit it. All right, continuing with the document. On August 13th, Christina posted screenshots of our correspondence from April, which I clearly stated I felt threatened, once again showing no regard for myself or my safety. Exhibit 20, text TikTok.
I'm about to show you the fastest friendship crash you've ever seen. And I have their receipts because, contrary to what the Nevada Police Department would like you to think, it is not illegal to share screenshots.
What's the Nevada law?
Let me see if I was just doing some searching because here's the thing. I'm a patrol officer. I'm not going to toot my horn and say I'm a best detective or anything, right? So I had to do my due diligence and do some searching as well. So I didn't copy everything because there's so many laws that we just don't know about.
text. It started in the morning after I confronted her about all of her lies. Love, apologies, self-reflection. Barely an hour later, full-on love bombing. I'm their ride or die, the best person they know. And then that night, out of nowhere, boom, I'm accused of something I didn't do and threatened with legal action. Here's the deal. I didn't tell or talk to anybody about what we talked about it because I had a legitimate feeling that she was going to pull this crap. This was a control tactic, and now I know the signs, and you do too. I'm about to show you the fastest friendship.
All right. So there was some screenshots posted. I'm going to go through that with you.
I'm about to show you the fastest friendship crash you've ever seen.
So this right here by Christina said these are laws that we just don't know, coming from an officer of the law. I can't read that because of the words behind it. To tell me I was breaking a law that he didn't know from a state I don't even live in. And then they've got the laughing faces. I also hadn't even shared screenshot yet. Also, yes, I know I touch my hair a lot. I don't know why. Maybe an ADHD thing, who knows? But here's some wild emotional whiplash. Hashtag love bombing is real. Don't fall for it.
And I have their receipts because, contrary to what the Nevada Police Department would like you to think, it is not illegal to share screenshots. What's the Nevada law?
Let me see if I was just doing some searching because here's the thing. I'm a patrol officer. I'm not going to toot my horn and say I'm the best detective or anything, right? So I did do my due diligence and do some searching as well. So I didn't copy everything because there's so many laws that we just don't know about.
It started in the morning.
So this is the text messages we saw in the beginning that were labeled apology from Lauren. This is from Lauren writing to Christina, and she's sharing it from her side. So Lauren wrote to Christina, I love you and I'm sorry. Thank you for talking to me. I have a lot to process about myself and my actions.
After I confronted her about all of her lies. Love, apologies, self-reflection. Barely an hour later, full-on love bombing.
She said, everything I love about you is real and sincere. Everything I judged you for before, I gave you a chance. I was wrong. Unfortunately, you can't erase words and they hurt. I'll forever regret the things I said and thought, but the truth is, I'd defend you to the moon and back forever, and I do. But I realize it will take me a long time to earn your trust, if I ever earn it again. And if I don't, I understand. I was so wrongs. But I know no matter where our paths lead in life, ILK forever defend you. And it's blocked out, but we read it earlier. Something about call you a dear friend and back you up.
I'm their ride or die, the best person they know. And then that night, out of nowhere, boom, I'm accused of something I didn't do.
And this is where she wrote, Hey, Christine, I would appreciate you not talk about our private conversation, which you described as vulnerable with other people. I have done this for you, yet I'm already getting calls about things I said to you in confidence, and I feel threatened. Do not screenshot or share private conversations that are meant to be private. Do not share things I've said to you in private because they are considered private. And I reiterate, this is becoming a threatening something.
And threatened with legal action. Here's the deal. I didn't tell or talk to anybody about what we talked about it because I had a legitimate feeling.
And then here in the blue is where Christina responded to Lauren and said, I can confidently say what you're claiming is false. I haven't talked to anyone about our conversation. As for your other request, I think you already know I'm not the one you need to worry about when it comes to sharing private conversations. I'll be honest, receiving a message like this, especially with accusations and threats, really puts salt and in the wounds. I didn't expect that.
Feeling that she was going to pull this crap. This was a control tactic, and now I know the signs, and you do too. I'm about to show you the.
Now, the comments says if the Nevada police find out how fast that friendship crash was, they'll be writing a speeding citation to the hidden psycho. Christina wrote, ha 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 ha, oh my God, the wit you've got. And then someone else wrote, quote, fastest friendship crash. I got whiplash reading those texts. She's a shitty clown.
The fastest.
It still surprises me that she was the lie he went with. I'm sorry. It still surprises me that that was the lie he went with. It's not even a good
Friendship
lie,
crash.
someone wrote. All right, we're on 59. After that date, she has continued posting more social media videos about me. Presently, she has posted 50 TikToks and 33 Instagram posts about me. She continues to share my voice, my photos, and use search engine or optimization on these platforms. So if you look up my name, her videos come up. Her group of friends continue to comment and harass. Not only has she contacted University of Nevada, Las Vegas, where my husband supervises students, and John DeHelen, she has also contacted the producer of a national news show, advising them not to work with me. Other colleagues of mine, and has also approached victims of major crime that I work with to tell them that I am not who I say I am. She has also become entirely obsessed with me, doing anything she can do to make me feel unsafe and fearful. She has done the same with my family and my producer. My producer is so fearful, she has had to see a psychiatrist to get on medication for anxiety as well as medication to simply be able to sleep at night. My husband's blood pressure is, pardon me, far higher than ever, and the doctors are concerned about his health. He is not sleeping due to fear and anxiety as well. Exhibit 21. This says from John, it's just a screenshot, so we'll zoom in. Just the pics. She replies, okay. Banks said they're cool, but not for him. LOL, LOL. Somebody said at 2:33 a.m. I can't sleep. My heart is racing. I'm a mess. I don't think I can do the meeting tomorrow and probably in no condition or mood to film next week either. This shit is a life destroyer. I hope I don't have a heart attack over all this bullshit because I can't calm down at all. None of this is good news. I feel like we are back at square one where we started. I will try to go back to sleep if I can, but it seems unlikely at the moment. I hope you can get some rest or are resting. At 8:11 a.m., I love you. Please, please sleep after getting child to school. And you and I will talk today. I needed someone to listen yesterday, but let's you and I talk it out today. What is that? Okay, let me hush. Okay. I live in constant fear about being followed and harassed, both at home or when I go to work in other states, as well as online. I cannot function in my day to day life due to her obsessive campaign against me and how it is affecting my mental and physical well being. Christina uses herself as well as others to continue to harass and stalk me daily. The attacks are unrelenting, and she will not stop. I fear for our safety and our well being. Every day it feels like the walls are closing in and there is no escape from these terrifying and obsessive, unrelenting attacks on us, our reputation, and our work. I feel threatened and in danger 24/7. I cannot continue to live in fear every single day, wondering what will happen next. The stress of this has already caused many dangerous health side effects for my husband and for myself and my family and my producer. It is positively malicious, and I have already described in painful but important detail. I am fearful of how far she will continue to take things if the court does not step in and help me and us. I need the social media attacks and cyberbullying to stop. She has contacted people I work with, harming relationships with no bias. I need to be able to show up to work and work events without being fearful of my safety and confrontations. I need to be able to function day to day and not wonder what is coming next and how she will harm me and those I care about. For verification, I declare under criminal penalty under the law of Utah that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. So that was Lauren's declaration. We went over. Okay, I had two exhibits, but it was ones that we had already went over. All right. So I know I've apologized profusely, but one more time, I do apologize that the editing is not done in this video. I want to hurry up and get it out to you guys, as Gigi told her side in a tell all this evening, and I will drop her link in the description box below. She is actually live, and I was in there as she went live, but I needed to go ahead and get this video out for you guys. So I want to share this with you guys. Oh no, she appears to be done now. Her channel is Difficult Research. Oh, she is still live, and there is still a lot of people in there, so definitely go and, check her out when you are done here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, and again, her link will be in the description box. That is GGK Woodcock's relative, also known as Cresha. That will be there, and I mean, people are coming out all over YouTube to talk about this situation. If you don't mind, please hit the thumbs up if you feel compelled to do so on your way out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day.